Hello there, and welcome to 3Spoonies. We are your hosts, Karen, Jo, and Claire. This is episode 35, and we're discussing energy limiting conditions. Join us as we dive in.
Running a business can feel like pushing a boulder uphill some days, but you don't have to do it alone. I'm Sheena Wyatt, and through my one-to-one coaching, I help business owners like you make confident decisions, get focused, and take back control of your time and energy. It's practical, it's strategic, and it works. Book your free mission strategy call, and let's figure out your best next step. Head to heroes.kapowme.com/free-strategy-call.
Hi, I'm Karen from Pony Pony Pony.
And I'm Jo from Bright Cat Business Solutions.
And I'm Claire from Sparkle's Gift Boutique.
And we are 3Spoonies navigating our way through life and business with not enough spoons. This week, we're going to be discussing energy limiting conditions. And between us, we've got quite a few.
We don't collect them or anything, they just happen that way.
Yeah, and sometimes there's overlaps, so you're not sure which one's which.
Yeah. I do wonder if they stack, though. Is that when you're having a really bad day?
Yeah, that could definitely be a thing.
So yeah, for those that don't know, energy limiting conditions are anything that means you are fatigued or you've got low energy, you just don't want to get up, you don't want to do anything, you can't some days, as well as not wanting to. Between us, we have long COVID, fibromyalgia times 2, E/CFS, which is chronic fatigue syndrome. That one's in the name at least. And probably some others. You got any others?
I've got my vitamin D deficiency, which probably doesn't help.
No, that
I'm
won't
more
help.
read into that and learned about it recently. I'm like, oh, that will make, especially in winter, I now understand why I struggle so much. But for those of you listening or watching, it's not just a few months of no vitamin D. I all year round have none. So yay me.
It's just everything is worse in winter. If only we could hibernate.
I'd love to hibernate. It would
I
be
used to-
amazing.
In summer though, as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do it all year round.
These days, yeah, I used to say I hibernate in winter because nobody would see me all winter. So no, it's cold and dark and I don't like it. I'm going to bed. And that was before I was ill. I mean, these days, I've had neighbours who I haven't seen you in months. It's like winter, hibernating. Don't leave the house.
Yeah.
I mean, these days I don't leave the house anyway. But at that point, I did occasionally, or at least I'd spend time in the garden instead of looking at it through a window longingly.
So I see you, but I can't enjoy you.
Yeah.
Too
Mainly
much.
because it's a mess and it bothers me and I can't do anything about it.
Having our garden kind of all done over and putting the black liners down so nothing else can regrow was a godsend.
We did that. It didn't work.
Oh, it's worked
Yeah.
here.
Mm.
Maybe that cold and northern weather just has that effect.
It might have done, yeah. we just didn't get good enough like black plastic.
Could be, yeah.
I mean, we do have plants growing through it that were meant to be there.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's impressive.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, energy limiting conditions. Sometimes it affects your brain and you do get brain fog. That is part of it. I don't know if that's where it comes from. Like your brain hasn't quite got enough energy because your brain uses about 25% of your energy daily. So that might be where the brain fog comes from, which I am currently experiencing and therefore rambling. But yeah, I have found it that when it's bad, you can't even get out of bed. There's not enough energy to lift your limbs, never mind anything else. Did it surprise you when you started on this journey of crap health, how different it feels from just being tired?
Yeah. It was horrible. I used to work in retail before I got ill. My mum would have Dylan on the weekends and I'd work weekends. And I'd take him on the bus to my mum's and it was a stage where I'd be falling asleep on the bus. And I've never done that. And by the time I'd actually had to give up work, I was standing up at work doing things but falling asleep. And I was just like, how is that even possible? But it is. it happens. Like we went out for the day yesterday just for lunch, went to the opticians, done a few other little bits of stuff, and it absolutely knackered me. But I still feel it today. And it's sometimes it still baffles me that, oh yeah, I can't just go and pop out and do something because I have to think about how it is going to affect me. And we've talked about planning for if we go away to like an event or something, but you have to kind of add it to your day-to-day life as well.
You do. I mean, I find Visible's functional capacity at the end of the month is actually quite useful because it's like it asks you like, can you do other things if you're doing certain tasks? And the amount where it's like I either can't do it at all, or I have to limit what I'm doing on the same day. It's quite a lot, and it's like that's all energy. It's all you have to plan what you're doing. Like not enough spoons. What about you, Karen?
Yeah, it's surprising the things you can't do that you could before. Like I used to have a class in the basement, and my next one was on the third floor because, of course, it was. And I'd get about halfway up the stairs, and it'd be like, no, no, need to stop now thing. And admittedly, some of that was lung related, but it was also energy related. And yeah, there'll be days when maybe you don't quite notice until you try and do something a bit different. Like you try and go upstairs, and it's like, I might just stop in the middle, have a breather, and then start again later.
Yes, that's a good idea. I mean, I've been told when doing stuff. I mean, we went to an event recently, and you use a lot of points. You used a lot of energy. I'm using walking aids. I didn't. I was surprised by how little energy I actually used. I did go over on a few days. And yes, I paid for it the week after, not all at once, which I usually would. It wasn't one day you have to stay in bed. It's you can do a little bit today, which I found slightly more frustrating because I started. But I actually had a taste of an energy limited condition when my thyroid went wonky. Good few years before I had the Bell's palsy, because I'd be sat at work and I would be typing away and I'd just fall asleep. I thankfully I had a flexible work schedule, so I ended up working 7:30 till like 3:30, because it's called like the 2 o'clock crash, and between 2 and 4 you will just fall asleep. So like I used to like finish work, go home, go to bed because there was nothing else I could do.
Yeah,
But
I
that
had
is now my
elements of that
daily
with
life.
migraines.
Yeah,
I get migraine hyper bit, and then it's like, I sleep now.
yeah,
And it wasn't up for debate.
no. I mean, I've had fatigue to the point getting up is not an option. And I've been laid face down on the bed and I can't even turn to get comfy. It's just, nope, this is the position you're in now. You'll have to wait a while to move. And I found that so strange. Or you'll be doing something and all of a sudden your body just goes, nope, you're done.
Yeah, that's a hard one.
Yeah,
You're just like, oh, what? Why? Used to be able to do this.
yeah. It's like, but I was
Yeah.
in the middle of something. Nope, you're done. Oh, okay.
I think it's those full-on crashes if you're not expecting them and if you're not sure where it's come from. Sometimes it's not obvious if you're not tracking it, because it might be you overdid it a bit on Monday and you overdid it a bit on Tuesday and you overdid it a bit on Wednesday, and by the end of the week you're just good for nothing. But if you look back, you think, I didn't do that much really, and then suddenly it hits you and it's like, oh, maybe I did. Who knew?
Yeah, it takes a lot to just your perceptions of this is how much energy I have. Normally, on a bad day, it's less. On a good day, it might be slightly more. Try not to overdo that.
Yeah, that's the tricky one though. When you feel semi-functional, when it's like, right, I've got to catch up on everything I've missed for the past however long.
Yeah,
And for most people, catching up on that much stuff would be a problem. If you've not got the energy in the first place, that's can be a bit of a recipe for disaster. And I know I'm dreadful for going, right, let's try and do as much as I can, as quickly as I can, and make up for it. And yeah, then I crash again. Who knew?
yeah. I mean, it really is difficult to pace. I mean, I've seen people say slow down on everything you're doing, which sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. But you've actually got to think about it. But even that's taking energy.
Yeah, that's the thing. Sometimes processing and sometimes making decisions can just be It could be the smallest, most minor thing. Like, do you want tea or coffee? It's like, I literally can't think about that. I don't have the energy to make a decision. Please decide for me because I just can't. And that's not an indecisive thing, or that can be a thing as well. It's like, I don't have the brain capacity to decide. Like, I could do some small bits and bobs. I could maybe do a little bit of tidying around me if I don't have to bend down, but I can't make a decision at the moment.
Yeah, we have that. It's like if I'm Ricky would be like, come sit down and we'll just like watch something and just try and relax. And he'll be like, what do you want to watch? And he'll be like, do you want to do a film or a series? And I'm just like, I don't know. He's like, but what type of thing do you want to watch? I'm like, you're giving me too many choices. I said, I just need you to, I'm like, you just need to pick something and I will watch it because my brain is just like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And it doesn't want to work.
Yeah. I mean, you've got to remember how much energy your brain uses, and sometimes it can't. It's using everything to keep you alive, and there is no thinking. I mean, I generally call it the non-functional, non-speaking, because I can get to the point where I can't move, I can't speak, and I just need to rest for a little while until I can at least move, maybe speak. I mean, Karen's seen this when we've done things a little bit too much, and like the next morning, I'll just be in bed, and it's like I might be able to grunt at you, and that's about it. But you don't expect this, especially when you're starting off with these conditions. I mean, when I had Bell's palsy, they told you it's an extremely painful condition. There's a lot of fatigue and stuff, and I laughed it off. I went, I've had migraines since I was like at least 8 years old, and I'm always tired. I've had a wonky thyroid. I'll be fine. And I wasn't. I was absolutely not fine.
You're like, oh, this one hits a bit different.
Yeah. I mean, like nerve pain is the worst. Absolutely worst.
Oh, yeah.
But when it's nerve pain and then you can't move because
Mm.
you just need to stay wherever you are, it is like feeling trapped. Thankfully, when I had like the palsy, it was a lovely summer, so I spent most of it outside watching my birds. And Ben would come home and go, "Have you been sat there all day?" And I was like, "I don't know." It's like, I assume
Maybe.
so.
Anything could have happened today.
Yeah, because I was not with it at all. Okay, so we know what they are. How do you combat it? You push through and then just crash. I know.
I'm like, how do I even answer this one? I mean, this morning my body was like, I literally fighting to not fall back to sleep, and I was like, I need to get things done before we start recording this. And honestly, I think that's why I'm in the pain I'm in now, and everything hurts, and I have spasms and all of that because I pushed through. And I'm like, roll on Sunday when I don't have to do anything, because I'm gonna crash. That will
Yeah.
be my crash day. It's like, and I think we do. It's you. If we took the time out to be like, I'm in this much pain, I'm just not doing anything, we wouldn't get anything done. You kind of sometimes have to push through a little bit. But I've got to go, there's a date on that what I can push through at the moment. I'm like, just get to Sunday and then you can do nothing. It's fine.
The bit I find
All the
difficult
drugs,
is
all the
you've
legal
got to
drugs,
get to
obviously,
Sunday.
all the meds, and I'm fine. I can keep on going. Yeah, I'm terrible for pushing through. I always moan at other people, especially you two as well, and I'm like, go and rest, go and lay down, look after yourself. I don't take my own advice.
No, none of us do,
Awful.
but crap.
It's I will just push through because I've always been like that, and I find it really hard to accept still that this limits me so much sometimes.
I had a conversation with my mother last night. I'm visiting her at the end of the month for a week. And she's been suggesting that I find out how much it would cost me to get a taxi from my house to her house. Well, how much it would cost her. And I don't want to do it. I don't want to be in a car that long with a stranger because
Long drive.
that puts my anxiety through the roof. And if I'm sat in the back, I will feel sick. And I don't want to feel sick for that long either.
That's a good point.
But I'm very much going, no, it'll be fine. I'll get the train, I'll bring my crutches, it will be fine. And she says, if you get here and you're in agony, I'm going to be really angry. It's like, please don't take something else that I can do still from me. And
Yeah.
that really annoyed me. It doesn't help that this is like the worst month of the year for both of us, because my dad passed at the end of March. So that's currently on our brains. So we're a little bit
It kind of ties in the emotions, which that also makes the pain and everything
yeah.
else worse.
So yeah, that is like, it kind of annoyed me, and then hit overwhelmed with various work bits that need doing, and everybody just going, "Can you just?" No, I'm really struggling. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I think that is the problem, that there's also, like, in an ideal world, people wouldn't have to work when they're ill, but we do, because even if you can get benefits, it's generally not enough to live off. So there are things you have to do, and things aren't fully accessible. So you have to do things you kind of rather not, because otherwise, like you said, you do absolutely nothing. But I found for me, it's helped to understand why things happen. And I was looking into it. So first I didn't understand why I kept getting sore throats. And it's like, oh no, that's a PEM symptom, which is post-exertion malaise. So basically, if I overdo it, I'll have a horrible sore throat. Like, it'll be swollen to the point that I can't brush my teeth and things. And that will be for days. Like, it's deeply unpleasant. And there are other things like that. A lot of what happens at cellular level with some conditions. So with like ME and long COVID, for some people, their cells literally can't produce any more energy. So no matter what you do, how much caffeine you take, or those little dextrose tablets, it's going to do nothing. There is no more energy. And the scariest bit for me was you can't heal. So usually when you exercise, you get little tears in your muscles, but it's fine because they heal up and they get stronger or they get leaner. But with some of these conditions, they don't heal. So you end up with necrotic tissue. So you've got literally dead tissue in your muscles, and that's why you're in pain. And that's why you really shouldn't overdo it. And when I can bear that in mind, there's a difference between doing a little bit extra and absolutely hammering it. And it's finding a line somewhere that's, I wouldn't say a happy medium, but a less destructive medium, possibly.
yeah. I mean, thinking of it that way, that other than being gross, is a good way of looking at it. You are doing damage to your body, and it's already not in a good place. Finding that medium is really difficult, and it keeps changing.
Yeah, that's the difficulty. It's, yeah, I keep catching various bugs and things over December, January. So each year I'm worse than I was the year before because it's kind of topped itself up a bit. And that's really difficult because I'm not able to do stuff that I was able to do a few months ago. And that's hard both for you and for others as well, because it can be difficult for other people to understand. It's like, well, you did this before, why can't you now? And it's like, I'd love to do that now, but it's not a thing.
I wish I could do it, but I just physically can't.
Yeah. Should we take a break?
Yeah, I think all this is getting a little bit down in the dumps. So it's time for some spoonsful of loveliness. Here's loads of great things from our sponsors.
Whether you're thinking about writing a book, are writing a book, or have written a book, Green Cat Books are here to make the process easier. As fellow Spoonies, we know how important it is to rest and relax and take time for yourself. That's why we offer beginning to end publishing services, including proofreading, formatting, and distribution, giving you the chance to heal. greencatbooks.com. Create your legacy.
SH Policy Support, helping small businesses and sole traders create and refine the policies and procedures they need to thrive. Whether you're looking to streamline your operations, ensure compliance, or build a strong foundation for growth, SH Policy Support offers the consultancy and tailored guidance that fits your unique needs. From startups to established businesses, they'll work closely with you to develop clear, effective strategies that make a real impact. Ready to take your business to the next level? Visit shpolicysupport.co.uk to get started today.
Welcome back. We are talking energy limiting conditions because we all have those. Our future episodes will get an expert in on other conditions, but we're pretty good with this one, oddly enough. Right, so we know we try to combat it. We know what they are. What has been the most surprising thing? I think for me, it's the fact that it does keep changing. And a lot of these conditions are apparently static and they don't get worse, but we know they do. And you never know when that's going to happen or why, because most of them, they don't know why anyway. But yeah, I find that the most surprising thing of like, this is where I'm at. I'm good. I know what I can do. I know what I can't do. And then it changes.
That's really fair because I remember like when I was first going through feeling how I was feeling and trying to find out why I was feeling this way is I'm so different to the me then and how it affects me. It's definitely got worse over the years. It definitely doesn't get better. I think the other one is like it's struggling to understand it yourself and adjusting to because you have a good day and you're like, oh look, I can do this. No, you can't. You think you can, but you can't. And it's annoyingly, it's not normally, well, my experience is like your close friends and family that are like, oh, but you've gone and done this, so why can't you do this? I've done this. Oh look, I'm persevering and I'm pushing through. You're not seeing a side of me that's passed out in my bed, literally can't sleep, but I can't move. It's you don't see the behind the scenes part of it.
Yeah, there's a
That's
lot of
the hard
planning that
part.
goes into doing anything and a lot of rest and recovery around it.
Yeah.
Any thoughts, Karen?
I think it's how different things are depending on the reason and where it comes from, even though on paper the symptoms the same. So like a few years back, I burnt out big time and I'd go to work, I'd come home, I'd sleep. That was my life. There was no energy for anything else. And on paper, that doesn't seem that different. But because the cause is different, it's approaching it differently, and things that worked then don't work now. And there's things as well that you think, oh, well, surely it's common sense, this would be helpful. And it's like, why did you do that? That's a ridiculous thing to do with hindsight. But all those things that you've been taught that this will help with just sleep for a bit longer, try this, try that. And it doesn't work. And that's like, oh, okay. And I'm a bit more cynical than some, possibly, but there's a lot of people peddling this, that, or the other cure. I'm sure we could think of some specific examples there, but I think generally the people pushing those cures clearly don't have the condition or they wouldn't. And I don't realise quite how damaging it is to be able to think, oh, well, maybe this magic fruit or whatever will magically fix everything, and then it doesn't. And even if you're thinking, well, that seems a bit ridiculous, there might be part of you going, maybe it will this time.
I
I
think
think
it's the need for hope.
yeah, and everyone we're all so different. So like we could all have the same condition, but all have different symptoms, and it affects us differently. And there's no, oh, this is the condition you have, and this is how your life will be.
No.
It would be, and I mean, I think the ones that are like, oh, take this pill, it'll fix this. Really
No,
won't.
it really won't. Though I did see something on Facebook yesterday from a doctor who's a researcher in fibromyalgia saying that they've been doing a lot of research finally, and they do believe now it is autoimmune, which seems obvious, but they didn't think it was. They was like, we don't know what caused it.
Yeah, well, there's still people with ME being sectioned
Yeah,
and told to
or
cheer
told
up
to
and get over it.
exercise. Because we're always told energy breeds energy. Therefore, if you've got no energy, you need to like gradually increase it. No, because that will make you worse. But
So much worse. And
I,
yeah,
I,
the only group that did worse than the group who were told to gradually increase exercise were the group who were told to gradually increase exercise while doing CBT, who had the worst outcomes of all. And logic would say, oh, yeah, doing a little bit more exercise, that's fine. Yeah, looking at things in a bit more balanced way, that's a positive thing. But the combination of the two made people really drastically ill.
Yeah. I get the logic of it because for a normal, healthy person, it makes sense, but not for these types of conditions. Because it's like you're trying to get energy where there is none. As you say, there is no more. It's like
Yeah.
it's now a finite resource, no matter what you do.
Yeah, it is worrying the amount of misconceptions there are. And there's certainly a gym near me that's offering a long COVID gym program. And I've asked on it, is this suitable for people with PEM? And they responded, we don't know what that is. And it's like, maybe you shouldn't be working with people with long COVID then.
Yeah, you're going to make them very ill.
Yeah, maybe do a little bit for research. And there were some people in the comments who said, oh, I tried it and I really pushed and I really tried so hard and it made me incredibly ill. And it's like, wow, that's awful to hear, like dreadful that you think someone's offering you advice and they're some sort of professional and yeah, it's just wrong. And it's almost like maybe they should have listened to people in the 80s with ME rather than calling them scroungers and calling it yuppie flu and whatever else. It's like, oh, well, maybe if we'd done proper research then, there'd be more available now. Who knew?
Yeah, I know, right? But because it was weird and they didn't understand it and therefore it was all in your head, they didn't. I mean, they're still doing it. Fibro is now the faking it illness, according to most commenters on Twitter, when they're all about benefits. I want to jump in every time and I'm really good and I don't.
But the energy it would take to have that argument with them, we just don't have it.
No, I don't
We
have
really
it.
don't.
It's useful in other places. I'll just be angry at them from a distance. Plus, it's my business account, and I really shouldn't.
Oh.
So, do we have any advice for somebody maybe who's starting out on that journey of they've got an energy limiting condition? They're starting to notice it. They're starting to feel it. They haven't hit the point where they're bedbound. Because that was my worry for a long time. Is like I'm going to end up bedbound, and it still is because I may do.
Yeah, it is a scary thing because it's, you know, as you get older and your body changes as well in general, it's like, well, how is my body going to react to this? And what is it going to change and how will my life look? I mean, I had the conversation with my physiotherapist for my knees and my wrists about, he's like, in the future, you're going to need walking aids. And obviously, you've taken that journey and done that.
Not out of choice.
No,
I'm still really uncomfortable with it.
I'm still at the I will persevere and not use them yet.
I was like that for a little while.
I'm a stubborn bitch, okay? I'm just like, no, not doing it. I know at some stage I'm gonna have to. So I think when you're kind of starting out and trying to figure out why you're feeling the way you're feeling, or if you've got an idea of what you're feeling, don't just Google, because Google can be your worst enemy at the same time. With mine, I just wrote down every different thing that I felt in my body, which ended up being a list of like 30 or different things. I went to my doctor and was like, here's this. First off, it was useless, but hey, you have to be
That
prepared.
one you have to persevere on.
You have to be prepared to be told your bloods are fine, your thyroid is fine, this is fine, that is fine, lose some weight. It's not an easy journey, but you know your body, you know when something's not right. So be persistent. Don't let it get you down. And yeah, I mean, it's hard, but you do just have to keep on persevering.
I would say if you can find a support group that's actually supportive and not just whining, they're great things. Or especially if they go, did you know this is a symptom? Because there is a page on Facebook called Dear Fibromyalgia, and a lot of the questions are, do you also have this symptom? Because there's so many and not everybody has them all. And they just want a little bit of validation that what they're feeling is, I say normal, but it's an illness, so it's not. But you know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Yeah, I
found that
think
group and it was handy.
peer support counts for a lot. And also, on the other hand, if there's something that isn't part of the condition, because that's the thing, there's all sorts of weird symptoms. I could just go, oh, it's just a migraine, because I've had so many weird migraine symptoms. But if there's something that isn't, it's like, oh, okay, maybe that needs looking into. And sometimes it's knowing if there's a specific procedure or how things are diagnosed. And like a lot of our illnesses are diagnosed because they're not anything else. So it's like you've ruled out this and this, so it probably is this.
Yeah.
And that's always really frustrating because then you want a definitive answer and that's not always 100% available.
No, that is frustrating.
Yeah, or it's like you have this like, as I've gone through the years, it's like I'll go back to my doctor and be like, people are having this symptom, and they're just like, oh yeah, that can happen if you've got fibromyalgia. Can it? Like, no one's told me that, and
You don't get a little booklet for
you know,
that.
it's like, oh, okay. And then they're just like, oh, but we're going to send you for some like an MRI and stuff, just to make sure you've not had many strokes and things like that. And so obviously you're just like, oh, thanks.
Yeah.
But there's no. Sometimes you just feel like it's fobbed off because you've got this condition. Oh, it's down to that. When it may not be as well. It could be that there's a couple of different conditions that are overlapping with each other.
Yeah.
Like Karen just said, it can be they just use it as a well, it's not this, isn't this, it's this. There is so much more, and you do have to kind of fight a bit for it.
Yeah, I mean, I had that recently with like, because whenever you get a new symptom, it's like, is this part of it? Is it not? Is it something that needs investigating? So I actually sort of turned to Ben at one point and said, I'm concerned. I'm having chest pains. Should I be concerned? And he asked me some other questions. He poked and prodded me. It's like, does it hurt there? It's like, no more than usual. But it's like, keep an eye on it. If it keeps happening, look into it. And it eased off, and I'll get them occasionally. But it's definitely once I've overdone it.
Yeah.
And I actually, on one of those groups, I found a list of like 100 different symptoms. Chest pains is one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also looking into side effects of any medication you're on as well. Because I've had some, it's like at one point I thought that I was genuinely having a heart attack and I was rushed into hospital and whatever else. And one of the doctors went, oh, you're on this medication. You've just got acid reflux. And I'm like, acid reflux feels like a heart attack.
Yeah.
Like she's like, what?
Like I know what heartburn feels like. This is like my chest is being crushed. It's like, yeah, it's acid reflux. That's why you're on this medication. It's like, oh, I thought I was on this medication for this thing. No. And he was very dismissive. And it's like, well, how was I supposed to know that? Like nowhere on the little booklet does it says
No
you
one has said
might
to you
feel
you're
like you're having
having
a
this
heart
because
attack.
of
Don't
this.
worry, it's all sound.
You're fine, go away. But yeah, that was part of my concern. Because mostly I didn't want to have to go to A&E by taxi on a Saturday night or ring 999. Got my chest pain. Am I going to die? But no, it was all right. And I did add it to my symptom tracker on Visible now. But yeah, a couple of times they were really bad, but it's not been that bad since. That was during January and December, the time of stress and illness. So yeah, sometimes a new symptom is something to be concerned about. Sometimes it's not. And it's really good to be able to find those places and at least ask somebody, is this a thing? Should I be concerned? Because they maybe go, it is a thing, but you might be concerned, go get it checked out.
Yeah, that you just don't know, or something weird that hasn't occurred before to you. Someone else could go, yeah, that'll happen. Oh,
Yeah.
and they may also be able to say, did you do this, that, or the other before? Or, and you know the difference between, have you tried drinking water? It's like, oh, can you drink water? I've just been splashing it on my face like an advert. Who knew?
Having a spray
That's,
bottle misting myself.
yeah. Whereas if someone's like, okay, when that happened, you know, had you drunk a few hours before? Was it a hot day or something like that's a different thing. That's
Yeah, absolutely a different thing.
Do you two find that certain foods can affect how your condition affects you as well?
Yes,
What
but I
things that you
don't know
drink?
what those foods are. My heart rate goes up whenever I eat. Digestion makes me sleepy. Everybody knows because I will sit here and go, I'm doing stuff. I should probably eat something. So if I eat, I'll get sleepy. So I don't. But yeah, sometimes my heart rate will go up for hours after I've eaten. And I never pay attention to what I've eaten at that point because I'm in bed going, I'm very sleepy. Would you calm down? And that's about it. At some point, I will find out what it is actually that really affects me.
Yeah.
yeah, I don't find what I did have allergies. I now don't think I have anything specific, but there are definitely things that help or make me feel a bit better. And sometimes I will get very specific cravings. Like the other week, I just wanted loads of spinach, loads of green veggies, and I was like, ah, maybe I need a bit of iron. I mean, they're all. I mean, I don't think the cravings for mini eggs are quite so significant in the same way, but
No, that's a
like
time of year
sometimes,
thing.
Oh, I'm
sometimes you
loving
like,
seeing the
I
mini
want
eggs
a
in the
bit.
shop.
Yeah, it's like the difference between I fancy a donut and I kind of feel like I need something nourishing, or like sometimes you like I really fancy a big bowl of soup or something, and it's like, okay, maybe that's kind of what I need. But yeah, I definitely find it helps if I eat well, but also it's really exhausting to eat well.
It is. I learned certain foods affected me more than others, and then so it's like I cut out all my breads, my wheats, my pastas. Been checked and I am gluten intolerant. Foods affect me more than others, and so cut out all of them. But I mean, the worst one is garlic. I love garlic. I can eat garlic raw,
Yeah.
but I eat garlic and I can literally feel the pain going through my body, and it's just like, huh. So I have to minimize the amount of garlic I have. But as I was learning this process of what I could eat, couldn't eat, how things affected me, I've always eaten pretty healthy anyway. But it was like, okay, so be really careful what you eat. Don't buy. We don't buy any processed foods, things like that. But the energy it takes to preparing dinner or a lunch or something like that, it's by the time you could have done it, you're knackered. And it's like, I don't really want to eat it now. Don't have the energy.
Yeah, that can be a thing. And I tried all sorts of elimination diets to see if it was food that was affecting me. And in my case, annoyingly, it wasn't. But I did like 3 months of no caffeine, like 3 months of no citrus. I tried no dairy, no gluten. And yeah, for me, none of that helped. And I was kind of hoping that it would be something I didn't particularly like. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if it was
No,
like,
I don't
oh, you
really like
can't
that's
grow
fine.
tomatoes anymore, and it's like, oh no, oh how sad. But then I wouldn't have eaten them to become ill. But do you know what I mean? Like I was hoping there'd
Yeah.
be something, and there wasn't. And it's like, oh, okay, but I think it is worth checking because I know a lot of people have gone, oh yeah, it's something I'd never thought of. Like citrus fruit can be quite a common one, can affect people quite badly, which I'd not thought of or
I hadn't thought of that
considered.
one, to be fair,
Hmm.
until
And
I
I know
heard about it.
grapefruit's awful with lots of medication on certain conditions. You have to be really careful about grapefruit. And
I'm not allowed
I
grapefruit.
don't like grapefruit, so that's fine.
I don't
But
like it, thankfully, but I'm not allowed it. The moment I was diabetic, it was no more grapefruit because A, it's full of sugar and it interacts with all the medications.
I think that's the other
yeah,
thing as
that
well. You have to be mindful of how your meds interact with each other, depending on what you're on.
yeah, that's the thing. Like I've got some that counteract the effects of other things. And I know some people say, oh, we'll come off all of it then. And it's like, no, I need the medication to function.
Yeah. Or worse is I need supplements to function, which I have to buy myself. Like the magnesium. The one point I ran out of magnesium, and I'd forgotten why I'd chosen to take it in the first place. And I had a month-long flare-up, and it was horrible until Ben looked up what it helped with, and it was things like fatigue and various pains. Oh, I guess that one works then. I
Yeah,
don't
magnesium is a good
I
one
don't
to
let
have.
myself run out anymore.
Yeah, big fan of magnesium. I have electrolyte drinks as well because I found that I would drink and drink and drink and drink and still be thirsty. And it's like, that can't be good. Then someone suggested, well, have you tried electrolytes? Because you've probably washed any nutrients out of yourself. It's like, oh, okay, yeah. And again, with hindsight, seems obvious, but I'll try and drink some electrolytes and I definitely feel the difference if I don't.
Yeah. Yeah, all these little things add up to like it can be the difference between functional and not. And it's a very weird interaction because obviously because they don't really know much about these conditions, they can't tell you these things. It's literally trial and error from your own stuff or what other people have tried. Please don't try magic pills. Proper stuff is better.
That and there are some great journals and things out there. Some are sort of condition dependent. There's some other ones to track it, or there's apps, and it's once you start writing things down, it's much easier to notice patterns if patterns are there, or sometimes just some of the things that are suggested to try. There might be some things when you go, oh, I don't see how that could possibly make a difference, and you try it, and it might not. Fair enough, but it may be actually that really helps. I'd not have thought of it because there's always a different perspective or approach. And if you're willing to try something and it's not horrendously expensive and it's not magic beans, it might be like, oh, give it a go.
Yeah,
See.
it might help. See if it does.
Yeah.
That's all the questions from me. Anybody else got any, or we can wrap up?
I think we're done. Well, we could go on for hours and no one needs that.
No.
That is true. Yeah, if we're still here tomorrow, that is too long, I would say. And we'd all be in weird states of exhaustion and potentially delirious, which could be funny, but probably not very useful. So thanks for joining us for 3Spoonies on energy limiting conditions. We'd love to know your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for our weekly podcast and leave us a review. You can also buy us a coffee if you like what we do. Links will be in the show notes. We'll see you next week for community questions. Have a great day and keep track of your spoons.